positive energy all the time. You know how we do rep your city, rep your city, rep your city. I'm representing Chi-Town, and you know how we do. Shout out to everybody on Twitch, on Kick, on YouTube, and on Facebook. We got Miami in the building. Much respect to everybody that's here. Buffalo in the building. We got the beautiful and gorgeous Carol here. We got Jazz in the building. We got Harrisburg in here. We got Doc in the building. We got the low end in the building. Trat, trat. Okay. So today I got to give respect to Ticket TV. Ticket TV. I was watching Ticket TV, and he revealed what I was telling you all that watch me. He began to reveal what I said I didn't want to say. So I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. Ticket TV. Make sure you check him out. He always does a great job. Watch him all the time. And he began to go down that rabbit hole. He did. He's probably, I don't know if he's thinking like I'm thinking. I don't know if he's going to go all the way down like what I'm thinking. But I'm only going to go as far as he went. I'm not going to reveal my total theory because it would be full of insinuations and it could unintentionally incriminate somebody. So I can't go down what I think happened. What I think happened is pretty deep. But shout out to Ticket TV. He's on the trail. I'm trying to see if he gonna jump off the bridge. Hey, Ticket, if you jump, go ahead. I mean, salute to you. You're doing a good job. Y'all go subscribe to Ticket TV though. He's on Kick too. Go check him out on Kick and on YouTube. Y'all watch him. He got good information. If you want to know what's going on, go watch Ticket TV. You are going to know what's going on. Okay, so yeah, rest in peace to Nolan Wells and free Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, two tragedies. Big Z is in the building, checking in from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm looking forward to getting back up to Ohio. So you blame Ticket TV for what I'm getting ready to break down. I also took some of this information to back up what I've been trying to tell you without telling you. Whew. My theory, but we're going to touch on it. We're going to tap on it. Now, these young people were going out on this island, and on that island, no police, no nothing. 4th of July, and I already knew that there was going to be a lot of drinking and substance using and substance abuse. I would assume. And so, what I didn't want to say is, I feel like Nolan possibly OD'd. I believe it was an accident because I don't believe he uses any substances. So it could have been slipped on him, or he could have been trying it. But that's my thoughts, is an OD. And the body parts that the coroner kept are pretty telling. And the video, the audio sounds like an OD. Sounds like he OD. Listen close.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
So, screaming for him to get up doesn't sound like it was an act of violence. Not at all. Is he unalive? That doesn't sound like he was unalive. The way they were saying, get up, sounds like you're shaking him. And it sounds like the panic of an overdose. That's what it sounds like. So we're going to come back to that. But let's do a little history on Horn Island. Yeah, they're calling his name for him to get up. They say, is he up? Is he all right? They're calling him for him to give up. The reason, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Not if you hide the body for, and they don't find the body for 3 days, and not if he goes to the coroner, and not if the FBI took his body parts. It would be breaking news at a later date because it could also be a serious criminal investigation on who was selling and gave him the substances, which that's the part I'm not going to get into. I think I know, but hey. And so if I ain't gonna go down there, I'm not gonna go down there. That's why I didn't say. That's why people watch me. I told you I wasn't gonna talk about this. I watch Ticket TV. I'm gonna go as far as Ticket TV go. I'm not gonna tell you the full answers to all these questions that I believe I know. But there would be reasons they wouldn't want the police to show up. If there's substances around. Right? Yeah. Because it's ugh. Ooh, I can't say nothing that I want to say, but if it's a OD, you know what I mean? If that's true, that could be a problem. If that's true, that could be a problem. So that's you know what I'm saying? If that's true, that could be a problem. Like, I guess I'll throw y'all a little bit. Ugh, nah, maybe. Uh, well, ugh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I wanna. I ain't gonna say that. But if that's true, that could be a problem. I don't want to go that part. I'm only gonna go as far as Ticket TV with, because he touched on my first part. The second part, right? See, sometime a crime or even an accident could lead to a crime. And sometimes an accident could lead to a crime, and a crime could lead to criminals. And those criminals might not can't afford to be led to. We'll just leave that like that. You know, sometimes an accident could lead to a crime, and the crime could lead to some people that can't afford the crime to lead that way. That's what they mean when they say rabbit hole. It ain't no more sinister. let's see. Yeah, it's not step for the first part. Yeah, no, no, he OD. Yeah, they didn't unalive him. They didn't unalive him. It was an accident. It was an accident. But like I said, an accident could lead to somebody, and that person could lead to somebody that could lead to somebody that could lead to somebody, and it could be a big mess. So let's look. Yes, there have been historical allegations and legal cases regarding illicit substance use and smuggling on and around Horn Island, Mississippi, stretching back several decades. Because of the island's isolation, lack of law enforcement presence, and wilderness status, it has historically been a point of interest for both local partygoers and maritime smugglers. The Dixie Mafia and Gulf Coast smuggling, 1970s and 1980s. Historically, the barrier islands off the Mississippi Gulf Coast including Horn Island and Ship Island, were frequently cited in federal investigation as drop-off or staging points for maritime smuggling. Operations. So that island has a long history of crazy parties and gangster mafia type situations. During the height of the Dixie Mafia's operations along the coast, law enforcement routinely monitored the barrier islands. Smugglers used shrimping boats and speedboats to bring substances in from South America, occasionally catching or dropping shipments near the uninhabited islands to be picked up by smaller local vessels and brought into Jackson and Harrison County harbors. So that area can be reached from South America. So there's some people around there making some pretty big money. I'm assuming, allegedly, possibly, maybe, because ain't nothing changed but the weather. I'm just saying, dropping shipments near uninhabited islands to be picked up. Smugglers use shrimp boats and speedboats to bring substances in from South America, occasionally catching and dropping shipments near the uninhabited islands to be picked up by smaller local vessels and brought into Jackson and Harrison County harbors. Underage drinking and narcotics use at boat parties. For decades, Horn Island has been widely known for large, unregulated holiday boat gatherings such as Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day. Local law enforcement and residents have frequently complained about the island's culture. What y'all think about that? The enforcement gap. Because Horn Island is part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore and designated as a federal wild wilderness area, a federal wilderness area, it is primarily under the jurisdiction of the National Park Service. Prior complaints with very few park rangers patrolling thousands of acres, locals have frequently documented and alleged rampant underage drinking, recreational substance use, and the use of illicit party substances during these massive wrapped up parties. So sometimes they come on rafts. Local sheriff's departments have historically noted that they lack the jurisdiction or watercraft to consistently police federal island territory, leaving it largely self governed by the boaters. Regional operation pipeline interdictions. While direct massive busts on the sand of Horn Island are rare due to its remote nature, the U.S. Coast Guard and the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources have routinely made arrests in the immediate waters surrounding Horn Island. These typically involved arresting boaters operating under the influence or possessing controlled substances while traveling to and from the island's popular North Shore anchorage spots. The enforcement gap, because Horn Island is part of the Gulf Island National Seashore and designed as a federal wilderness area. It is primarily under the jurisdiction of the National Park Services. There you have it. Once again, shout out to Ticket TV. That's where I got that from. Uh, okay. Okay. Y'all heard it. I'm going to read it again in a minute. Uh, it's not their jurisdiction. Exactly. They can't do nothing. The only one could do something is the feds. And the feds do not rush. Yeah, the feds don't rush. And it's very hard to collect evidence when things are done on the water because things end up in the bottom of the water. The water is self cleaning. So the water makes it, you can do whatever. Somebody comes just in the water. Hey, there's nothing to see here. The phones, you know why the phones was all, you know why everybody deleted their phones. Does he have it? Is it in yet? Did I got it? You know what was going on the phones. You know the phones was buzzing crazy. They don't just have to delete his phone. They ain't got to delete his phone for what he say. They got to delete his phone for the idiots calling him saying stuff they ain't got no business. Well, where is the feds? I'm noticing that the police and the feds, you would not see the feds, loveliness. Yeah, you would not see the feds. The feds just gonna pop out. Hey, loveliness. No, you ain't seeing the feds until they kick in the door waving the fofo. Yeah, you ain't seeing the feds. The feds don't do like the police. No, the feds just looking and digging and looking. And if the feds is in it, by the time you see the feds, it's too late. You ain't finna see the feds until you see the feds. So if the feds is involved, it's gonna be a minute. That's why they got a 90-something conviction rate. Mm. I can't get into that part, King Hazy. But uh, you know, yeah. But here go the thing. Here go the thing, he so the throat and the stomach is missing, but it also could be easy to collect evidence if the feds got the throat and the stomach. Yeah. Because look, they can't keep no throat and no stomach. Y'all ever thought about that? They cannot keep your throat or your stomach. The people do the autopsy. Now, who's powerful enough to keep the throat in the stomach? Because there's only one people I know that's powerful enough to walk in somewhere and say, give us that throat and give us that stomach and tell a mama it's evidence. And that's just over with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what misinformation you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no misinformation. People just saying what they're saying. All I'm saying is a lot of my questions been answered because I'm like, how they gonna keep the throat and the stomach and the lungs? It's only one entity that could do that. That's why I say everybody says this don't make no sense. How they gonna keep it? Cause they ain't got it. Cause they ain't got it. Cause they ain't got it. That's why that's why they kept it. Cause they don't got it. Now I don't want to go into the rest. I got a whole back on that, but I'll be doing too much talking. But I got a back end to this. Trust me, what I'm telling you. I got a back end to what I'm saying that make hella sense, but I can't say it. I gave you, you know, Ticket TV. See, I've been wanting to say this part, but Ticket TV went on ahead and jumped out the window. You know what I'm saying? With no body parts. In terms of the feds, because if you get rid of body parts, you go into prison. If you do an autopsy of a mystery like this and you get rid of the body parts, you go into prison. So whoever did that autopsy, they ain't getting rid of no body parts. They going to prison. I mean, it's a thing, loveliness, where you don't want to take away freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let you gotta let people have some freedom of speech. You can't put a story out there and then say we wrong for talking about the story. The story's out there, you know. So what are you gonna do? Like we just nobody can't talk about it. Like that gets crazy. We see it. We should have the right to speculate and talk on it as long as we don't incriminate somebody. That could be a lawsuit, but if we got to deal with the trauma of it, it is what it is. But I'm telling you, I think I know what's going on, but I can't say. But Ticket TV said it. I said, well, I can say the first part, especially since he said the first part. But I ain't saying the second part because I do believe I know what's going on. Because I was in the streets and yeah, a lady fall out on the floor. They come and they fall out on the floor. They do some investigation, find out my car was the last car pull up. They come grab me. They go through my stuff. They find out about woo 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 who I get it from. Kick that door in. Then find out about wee woo that they get it from. Kick that door in. And it could kick in the door of somebody that could really make big news if it kicked the wrong door. You know what I'm saying? If the wrong person got their hand in it, that could be okay. If the wrong person is down that rabbit hole, boy, boom. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. If the wrong person is down that rabbit hole, whew, so it ain't just Nolan. It's yeah, you know what I'm trying to tell y'all? Yeah, it ain't just Nolan. Okay? I wish I could say, because I believe I know one of the top suspects. I believe I know. I'm trying to tell you. What up, Tamarick? Did you hear the kind of money they getting over there? Hold on. Did you see the kind of money they getting? Hold on. Let's do this again. Yes, there have been historical allegations and legal cases regarding illicit substance use and smuggling and on around Horn Island, Mississippi, stretching back several decades because of the island's isolation, lack of law enforcement, and law enforcement presence, right? A lack of law enforcement presence and wilderness status. It has historically been a point of interest for both local partygoers and maritime smugglers. The Dixie Mafia and Gulf Coast smuggling, 1970s through 1980s. Historically, the barrier islands off the Mississippi Gulf Coast, including Horn Island and Ship Island, were frequently cited in federal investigation as drop off or staging points for maritime smuggling operations. Okay, the area is really that. Okay. During the height of the Dixie Mafia's operation along the coast, law enforcement routinely monitored the barrier island. Smugglers used shrimping boats and speed boats to bring substances in from South America. So they right there. That's the plug. Occasionally catching and dropping shipments near the uninhabited islands to be picked up by smaller local vessels and brought into Jackson or Harrison County harbors. They getting paid. Underage drinking and substances at boat parties. Look, it's laying it all out. For decades, Horn Island has been widely known for large, unregulated holiday boat gatherings, such as Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day. Local law enforcement and residents have frequently complained about the island's culture. Local law enforcement can't do nothing because it's federal. It's federal, which means if they don't got enough feds out there, it's wide open, straight from Mexico. And if them people got good money down there, good money get good money. Nobody suspicious of a dude with money with money. So he can do all day. Who else can afford boats, speed boats, and all that? You watch Miami Vice. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. They sure did. Hey, look. During the height of the Dixie Mafia's operation along the coast, law enforcement routinely monitored the various islands. Smugglers used shrimp boats, speedboats to bring substances in. Real talk. Look, the enforcement gap. Because Horn Island is part of the Gulf Island National Seashore and designated as a federal wilderness area, it is primarily under the jurisdiction of the National Park Services. Prior complaints, with very few park rangers patrolling thousands of acres, locals have frequently documented an alleged rampant underage drinking, recreational substance use, and the use of illicit party substances during these massive raft up parties. So they coming on rafts too, not just boats. And they got the rafts with the motors on it. They got money. They got money over there. Local sheriff's department have historically noted that they lack the jurisdiction or watercraft to consistently police federal island territory, leaving it largely self-governed by the boaters. So the boaters just can do whatever they want to do out there. Okay? It's a free for all. It's a free for all out there. Regional operation pipeline interdictions. While direct massive busts on the sand of Horn Island are rare due to its remote nature, the U.S. Coast Guard and the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources have routinely made arrests in the immediate waters surrounding Horn Island. These typically involve arresting boaters operating under the influence or possessing controlled substances while traveling to or from the island's popular North Shore anchorage spot. And they're scuba dive. So all they got to do is throw the stuff overboard, make sure it's wrapped good, make sure it's a weight on it, throw it overboard. They got all the readings on their boat. They know exactly where they at on their boat. They go home. They could wait 2 or 3 days. Come back, scuba, go down, put on John Boy, the best scuba diver. He go down, come up with it. Got it, guys. See, they live in a different world than black people live in. Look, leaving it self-governed by the boaters. The boaters govern themselves at the. So Shorty went out there. What did they have at that party? It was a rave. What they had out there? What they had out there? And my parents, listen, my parents took me out the hood, public school, 6th grade. Sent me to a little Lutheran school, 7th and 8th grade. That's a little school, nothing popping. But I'm in the hood, we drinking wine, smoking cigarettes, shooting dice. 7th, 8th grade. Rolling up or something, right? But what happened when I went to the Lutheran high school, way on 87th and Kedzie? That was probably like 55% white, 45% black, or 60-40. What? When I'm 15 and I go to the Lutheran high school, what do I get exposed to? Everything. So at 15, 16, I was the biggest dealer. When I go back to the black neighborhood from 87, Kedzie, when I go back to 116, I had everything. I had stuff the black community didn't have. Because the white kids had it all. They got money and they get blowed. For real. That's how I became notorious, basically. I mean, at 16, 17, I was bigger than the 21, 25-year-olds in the neighborhood. I was like a little black John Gotti or something. I ain't lying. I'm introducing stuff the black neighborhood never heard of. I ain't lying. I'm the man. And I'm all over the Chicago now. And my operation expanded. Why? Because this school on 87th and Kedzie, I live on 116th, but a lot of blacks sent their kids there. So their kids coming there from there, there, and they all coming there. So I'm meeting them. So when I get out of school where I'm at, I'm there, because now I ain't just plugged into my neighborhood, I'm plugged, period. I'm plugged with my schoolmates in the other neighborhood. I'm plugged with Doug, I'm plugged with Robert, I'm plugged with Eric, I'm plugged like that. And their prices were super extra duper, extra cheap. And I'm stick them, I stick them when I get back to the hood. So I know exactly. And guess what? I'm a sweet little Lutheran angel like Nolan. Yeah, we sweet little angels at the Lutheran school. Yeah, we were sweet little angels just like Nolan. And we were still nice kids, but we was just dipping and dabbing. Like if he dipped and dabbed, that don't make him no bad kid. But I believe he didn't know what he was doing. He tried something. That's what I believe. I believe he tried something. I believe he tried something. That's what I believe. I believe he was innocent. I think he tried something. You know what I'm saying? See, when you send your kids to school, no matter what school you send them to, they're gonna get influenced. You send them over here, they're gonna get influenced by this. You send them over here, they're gonna get influenced by that. But it ain't no angels out here like that. And I'm gonna be honest, the white dudes, hey man, say man, I ain't lying, man. They be on it. They be on something. Like the black community is light years behind them. I ain't gonna lie. The black community don't get blowed like them. I ain't lying. They gets blowed. You hear me? You think I'm kidding? It's a whole different. It's whole different. I'm telling you. You know, I done had a couple incidences. One time I nodded and I was laying all on my girlfriend mama. I was gone. Where my girlfriend brother gave me something and you know and I got exposed. You know what I'm saying? For real. I was gone. Maybe she thought maybe I was sleepy. I don't know. But it wasn't a good look. I done had a couple of situations. Yeah, you could OD easy. You could OD real easy. Do not mess with substances. One thing about this channel, I try to be positive. I'll tell you dark stories, but I'm gonna give you a positive. I'm gonna tell a dark story for a positive reason. Listen, leave that stuff alone, man. Cause all this stuff got stuff on it. All of it. All this stuff got stuff on it. I'm telling you, all this stuff is tainted, man. All of it. And watch your children. You know what I'm saying? You got to spy on your children. I'm telling you. The hell with all that freedom of rights and privacy. Man, don't be giving them no privacy. When I say no privacy, I mean no. Sometimes it ain't stepped on, sometimes it's stepped up, and it's stepped up too high. Like, say they cutting it twice, but dude get it only cut it once. It's too strong. So sometimes it ain't necessarily sometimes it ain't necessarily a stepped on. Sometimes it's too pure. It's too pure. It's too pure. They didn't cut it enough. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Damn. Yeah, man, it's bad. It's bad. I'm telling them the truth. Ain't I loveliness? Ain't I telling them the truth? It's sad, man. I'm telling you, it's sad. I'm telling you, man, it's all type of stuff going on. I'm telling you, yeah, young man gone, but it's like I didn't want to say this because I don't be wanting to sound racist, but when you move and you think you're doing better, and you move to like a white neighborhood, and you send your kids, you still got to give up something to get something. You know what I'm saying? All that glitters ain't gold. You know what I'm saying? And there's going to be things in your neighborhood, and there's going to be things in them neighborhoods. And see, that's where the problem, because parents get laxed when they move to a nice neighborhood, especially black parents, and they send their kids to like school with a lot of whites. They get lax. But see, the thing is, like the white dudes, right? They cold with it. See, one of the difference I learned, and I ain't trying to stereotype, between the black neighborhood and the white neighborhood, sometime in the black neighborhood, the men that don't be doing right, they look like they don't do right. But in the white neighborhood, the one ain't doing right is all American, get all A's, is a star on the football team, on my soul, class president. And so they got a squeaky clean look, but they the ones got all the stuff, and they the ones doing the foulest stuff. And it's mind blowing. I'm telling you, a part of the way they do it is be squeaky clean. They don't be sloppy. They be where you would never suspect. I'm telling you, that's how they do it. You know what I'm saying? American psychos, but they also master getting ahead in life, and they try not to let this ruin that. They keep their eye on the prize, and the only time they fall off is if they become a junkie, and then they fall off. And then the parents go try to get them to get help, but then the neighborhood is suspicious of your son now. They don't want none of their kids to be with him. They got to spend a lot of money. They got to send him to rehab. He got to go somewhere, and he got to prove himself before the community let him. It's crazy. And if he keep messing up, they throw their sons out. Yeah, they be like, get out of my house and never come back. I never want to see you again. Just like that. They'll throw them out on the real. I'm not kidding. they'll throw them out. They'll give them a couple chance, but if they embarrass their family, they'll throw them out. I don't know. It's like that's a little bit too much stereotyping. You know what I'm saying? Kind of turn that down. It's like tone that down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's too. It's like you racially profiling a little bit. You know, they. It's the same in both all the neighborhoods. It just raises head differently. You know what I'm saying? It's the same in every neighborhood. It just shows up differently. It shows up like this in the black neighborhood. It shows up like this in the white neighborhood. But they just the same. It's the same. It just show up different. And then people try to look this show up like this and try to say they better than these show up like that and try to say they worse. So that's what they be doing. Yeah, they be trying to judge you based on how you be bad, but bad be bad. And they like, well, this bad ain't like that bad. Yes, it is. It's the same bad. So that's what's going on with that. I mean, I mean, we only 14%. So we only 14%, and it's only 50 million of us, and it's 200 some million of them. I mean, of course, they're gonna do the most crimes. They got the most people, basically. They got the most people. That's why I'm trying to tell them, Bella. This how they be playing games, right? They'll post that stat, but then they won't post the populations, right? They be throwing people off, right? They be like, white people got the highest crime rate, but they'll never say, but they got the most people. Like they gotta tell the whole story. How they gonna have the least crime? The worst offensive? Uh, I live in Chicago. I don't know. Yeah. The, I don't know. I can't really say that. They'll do you dirty in Iraq. you know, if you lose your baby, you lost your baby, and it ain't no less of a crime to the mama. You know, for a baby catch a stray bullet to that mama, that crime just as bad as any other crime. You know what I'm saying? To the mama. So that's what's going on with that, y'all. I can't say too much because I think I know too much, right? So I think I know too much. So I can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying, though, sweetheart. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. A lot of times, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I ain't look it up. Yeah, I ain't never look it up. But I can tell you this: a lot of those cases don't get reported. Shoot, so a lot of them cases don't get reported. But you can look it up. Look it up. Real bears, man. Let's look it up. It's a quick Google search. But they ain't gonna get the stats, but they ain't gonna get us the statistics of the ratio of the population and all that. Like I be looking stuff up, real bears, and they don't be giving me the facts. They'll give me the numbers, but I'm like, what's the ratio? You know, out of how many people? You know, so they basically out there got their boats on the water that could go straight to South and Central America, South America, straight shot. So you already know what's going on down there. You know what I'm saying? They getting big, 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 big money. All type of stuff going on down there. Think about a whole small part of civilization where they got all them boats, even the young 16-year-old, 17-year-old go out on the boat and just out on the island and no police, no nothing. Right there, you already know what was going on that island. No police, no law enforcement, nothing. You know what they was out there doing? Man, everything. Man, listen, man. I'd like to look at their missing persons list out there, though. I don't know. Go ask your mom. Go ask your daddy or somebody. Go ask your mommy. Go ask your daddy. Your mommy know. Go ask your mama. She'll tell you. Go ask your mama. Go ask your daddy. I, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. This dude gonna ask me something the way they be acting over there in his country. You know what they be doing to women in India? Boy, some of these people phony as hell. You know what they do to women in India and Pakistan and Mexico and all them places? Dude, tripping. They don't be thinking I be knowing what's going on where they from. I be knowing what's going on where they from. Man, women in some of them places get treated less than an animal. Oh, so you always have advantage when you know a lot and you black, and they gonna always lowball you. They gonna always think you stupid. So you always got advantage when you well read. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna ask some people in India that India known, man, India is one of the worst places in the world when it comes to women. In South Africa, India and South Africa, hey man, say man, India, man, look. Oh, not only that, you know what they do to their wives when they get finished with them? They want to be with them. I can't even tell you. They just get rid of them and get remarried. And the way they do it, man, hey, man. You don't think I know his culture and how they get down where they at? Boy, listen. No, it's crazy. I think in South Africa, I think a woman get did like that like every minute and a half or every 2 minutes or something. Yeah, they be having fake degrees and license. A lot of them people over here talking about they doing well in school, they not even real doctors or nothing. They scamming. Talking about I come to your country and do well. Man, y'all got fake paperwork and everything on my soul. And they be, man, all them neighborhoods, they all be super criminals, man. They be super criminals. And the reason they do better than the black community, because they sick the law on us. So we can't get the criminal money and stack it and get the nice homes and stuff. So they let them do the crime, get the nice homes, get the nice property, and look decent, look legal. And they bust us every time we get some bubble gum. That's what they be doing. We be doing the same. They be doing crimes and we be doing crimes. But they watch us and let them get away with it. And then make us look like criminals, keep us poor, keep our money going to the jails and to the justice system while they walk around scot free doing all type of stuff. When a body come up missing over where they at, they don't even look for it. You just missing. Where's Sandy? I think she probably went to visit her mother, and that's the end of it. Let Sandy be missing in your neighborhood. Where's Sandy? Kick your door in. You looking for Sandy? Yeah. Oh my soul. Real talk. Yeah, go in there with them people from Middle Eastern people, them ladies. They're gonna do something strange for a little bit of change. It looked legitimate, but it ain't. You just gotta know the magic word to say. And she gonna get them little things out, ding 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 ding, and she gonna bust it down. Then they hate the women hate y'all because y'all thicker than a snicker, and she's slimmer and ain't no winner. So they be mad as hell. They can't stand y'all. Y'all too fine. They got videos. They over there trying to get y'all shape though. It still look a little awkward, but they trying to get there. Nah, nobody live on Horn Island. Horn Island is nobody there. It's a park. It's a federal like park. Sometimes people that stereotype you be the criminals. That's how they keep their cover. The best way to keep your cover is act like you're against crime and say, you crime, why are you doing crime? That's the best way to look like you ain't doing crime. That's a scam. No. Nope, there's nothing on Horn Island. It's deserted. There's nobody. Let that sink in, bro. There's nobody. There's no type of patrol or nothing. They said it's that water and that island is controlled by the boaters. The boaters run it, right? So if the boaters run it, and I'm Heckelsburg, I'm the big white dude down there. Me and Bobby Smith, we run all this. You know how it go. You go down there, you're gonna meet the dudes with the big old boats. You know how it go. It used to be a chemical biological test facility. It's probably toxic as hell. But they go out there and have raves and go out there. Basically, they free to do what they want to do. They got an island they can take their boats and go play on. Basically. Basically, live in a whole different world than foundational black Americans could even imagine. Imagine you 16, you just get on your daddy boat and just go out there. Yeah, go ahead, take the boat. He knows how to drive. He knows how to drive it. Boom. He out there with the boat. Something happened. Daddy, the boat. Daddy get on the speedboat. Get there quick. What's going on? Because they got the regular boat, then they got the speedboat. They out there just living. You know what I'm saying? In a whole different world. Anything happen, they get washed under the rug. There's nothing to see here like that. This is even finna disappear or explode. Nolan, I've been around a whole bunch of Nolans. Yeah, I've been around a bunch of Nolans. You know, bunch of them. And it's like a club. And, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you gotta want to get in the club. And they like, no, you can't get in the club. Because it's designed for you to want to get in the club and you to suck up to be in the club. That's how it's designed. Straight up. To get in the club. Now, me, I don't got to do all that to get in the club. They just put me in the club because they're going to put you in the club if it's F the club, man. F y'all club. No, come on, guy. If you don't give a damn about the club, they put you in the club. I'm ignorant, so they be trying to force me to get in the club. You know what I'm saying? Once they see, because I make the club look like it ain't nothing. Bro, y'all club suck. I say I don't want to be bothered with y'all like that. Come on, no, man, come on, it's cool though. Come on. All right. That's how but if I go out there and I want to be in the club and I get the Jolly G Willikers in and stuff, they ain't gonna play me to the curb. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna play me to the curb. But if my mama moved me out there, I'd run away, be back in Chicago somewhere. Ain't no way I go live out there. Mama, you lost your man. I'm not gonna live out here. I'm gonna run away, go live with my auntie or somebody. But I ain't gonna stay out here. Hell no. Mm-mm. I wouldn't live way out there with them like that, out there in that environment. No. That's the type of environment they catch me walking around there at night. I'll never be seen again. On my soul. And it be the police that did it. In regular plain clothes. With their sons. Shoot. Out there. Me and Bobby and John and Jerry, we got him. We got him last night. Yeah. Yeah, hon, we got him. We had N-words walking around out here. We caught him. Where is he at? Don't worry about it, baby. Don't worry. He's not a problem anymore. You know what I'm saying? Out there, hell no. No. You know what I'm saying? It go bad. But I just believe dude made a mistake, got something too strong. Cause what happened, the way you can OD is easy. The quick way to OD is to be drunk first. So if you get a little tipsy at first, when you get a substance, you don't really know what you're doing because you're tipsy. So you're going to do too much because you're drunk. Who's the largest population? Out there where they at? Out there where they live at? Mm-hmm. It's Mississippi, shit. Too strong is, like I said, what's too strong? It's too strong based on how much you did. That's what make it too strong. It's too strong based on what you did, and you don't know what you're doing. That's why it's too strong. You should have did half that amount. Because most likely, whatever they gave him, other people had already did some. It's going to be very rare he the first one. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you drunk and you've been drinking, you might go too far. Or if you done did something over here, you've been drinking, you did a substance over here. And now you get over here and you try this substance over there, and you didn't put a mixie in your body. It could be a lot of reasons. But most likely you will do too much. You know what I mean? If you're an athlete, sometimes it could hurt you too because your blood is running too. Look at Lynn Byers. So sometimes like you could be too hyped up too. You could be too hyped up. You know what I'm saying? You could be too hyped up, and then you take something to hype you up, but you already naturally hyped up. That could go bad too. So it could be a lot of reasons why that possibly happened. I can't say that happened, but when you listen to the tape, it do not sound like nobody did nothing to him. It sound like a OD to me. It don't sound like nobody slammed him on his head and all that. Not to me. Listen.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
So some people say they hit a Bart. They said you did this to him. Mm. They said I tried to revive him. So it could have been he punched him or something, but it didn't sound like it to me. It sounded like somebody was being blamed for giving him something. That wouldn't sound like to me. Yeah, I know, Sherry. It's horrible, ain't it, sweetie? High school, that's where they experiment at. In high school, there's always kids that don't make it because they become junkies. Not in every high school, but this is typical. Some kids get in high school and they never uh, get out. Yeah, I heard a lot of different alleges and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I want to say something, but I can't say it. I got a reason I'm saying what I'm saying, but I can't. I don't want to say it because that's why they suing. Because people is saying and showing what I'm talking about. Okay, that's why. Okay, they suing because people is showing something, and that I got too. But I ain't finna go that way for two reasons. I don't want them to sue me, and then I don't know how far the rabbit hole go. Because if there was a substance out there, there's a group behind it or somebody behind it, and there was a lot of it moving around. If that's it, now it might not have been that. It might have been somebody's personal stash, but you can't tell me somebody wasn't out there getting money. You can't, because me, if I'm out there and I'm doing substance, I'm out there, you know how much money I would have made that day? I would have got that bag. I would have been out there. I would have been the main one out there getting that bag. So I know they was getting that bag out there. And the crazy thing, that's what they go out there for. And this is what don't nobody want to talk about. Don't nobody want to talk about how they let them kids have their own island to go to and do whatever. That's another thing they don't want to come out. How they let them go out there, no police, no nothing, and just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I suspect it's possibility the FBI is coming. Underage, whatever age. That's how it be functioning. When I was in high school, I used to go to my friend's house. We go up in this room and just smoke all day. His mom and daddy be downstairs. That was unheard of in the 70s. Boy, your mom and them would have never let you do that. Not like that. I did eventually do it though. She would knock on my room, put that stuff out, you know. But they get a lot of freedom. You know, their parents go out of town and leave them at home by themselves. They be a sophomore. My mom and dad's going out of town, got the house for a whole week. Real talk. Come by. I'm like, I ain't coming over there to no house with no parents with y'all. See, I was smart. I know where to go and not to go. I'm not going to no European friend at school house where he gonna have other friends come that don't go to school with me, right? I don't know them in his house, and I'm trapped up in there in that house. See, I was smart. I never went to stuff like that. I mean, I was smart. No, think I'm not coming there. I'm not coming to that. I was already smart. The only way I'm coming there, I'm bringing three of the guys with me. I'll come with three or four of the guys. I'll come. So this whole situation can be regulated. But me by myself, a black dude out of some white dude house with in his neighborhood with his friends that he probably went to grade school with that I don't know at the high school, man, miss me. I wasn't going for none of that sucker stuff. Now can't nobody talk. Can't nobody talk. And what? Be ran out the town? Your parents lose their house and everything. No, they can't talk. Talk about what? They don't know, hey, talking and snitching. You know what I'm saying? No, they can't talk. They don't know nothing. That's why they deleted all the phones. They didn't delete the phone just because their phone was hot. They deleted the phones for everybody else texting and stuff. They had to delete everything. Not just, yeah, they had to delete other people's texts. See, people miss that part. Everybody had to clean their phone. Trust me, all them kids' phones was clean. Everybody. Because they just be out there on that island just sloppy. Everybody's phone is full of evidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. Most people think just the people around them. Yeah, I just seen that. Most people think that only the people around them scrub their phones. Nah, everybody scrub their phone because they be saying too much. They be on their phone just saying because they live in a white world, nobody gonna bother them. Police ain't gonna bother them. They say whatever. Nobody ain't gonna look in their phone like that. They like free. When that happened, they like, uh, but they didn't clean their phones because of Nolan. They cleaned their phones because of all the other stuff they was doing. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. Nolan is opening the can of worms. It's other things. It's other things. There's other things. You know what I'm saying? There's other things because if they, one thing lead to another, they can't afford that one thing to lead to the other things. If it would have just been that, and it would have just been him passed away, cool. They would have just said he passed away, whatever. They could even made up a story. But because everything else was going on, it ain't gonna stay right there with him. And you gotta understand, you do know that whatever happened, that's Fed time. Ain't no ain't no state. See, that's the one part y'all miss. See, the island and the water is federal property. It's not state. It's not county. It's not local. Any trouble, you getting fed. You going bye-bye. Any case is a Fed case. Let that sink in. Those is that's a federal island. That's federal waters because that's the Gulf of Mexico that lead to other countries. Okay, right? You see what I read? I read y'all. It say that they used to come from where? Let me show you again. It said they came from where? The Mississippi Gulf. They say it's fed, right? See? The Dixie Mafia. Smugglers used to use shrimping boats. It's fed. Look, it's fed. Anything you do that's fed, boy, you going bye-bye forever, boy. Boy, you going bye-bye forever. Look, because the island isolation lack law enforcement. Boy, you getting fair time out there. Oh, look. Boy, you going to the federal penitentiary out there. Look, the top, the enforcement gap. Because Horn Island is part of the Gulf Island National Seashore and designated as a federal wilderness area. It is primarily under the jurisdiction of the National Park Services. Boy, that's a bad crime. See, at the bottom, local sheriff department have historically noted that they lack jurisdiction or watercraft to consistently police federal island territory, leaving it largely self governed by the boaters. The people with the boats self-govern. Look, historically, the buried islands off the Mississippi coast include Orange Island, were frequently cited in federal investigations as drop-off or staging points for maritime substance. The cartels. The cartels, look, historically, the barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf, including the Horn Island and Ship Island, were frequently cited in federal investigations as drop off or staging point for maritime smuggling operations. On my soul, it's fed. Straight fed time. You know they know it's fed time. They know it's fed. Why you think they was panicking? Boy, that's fed time out there. Boy, you going bye-bye out there playing around. U.S. Coast Guard, fed time. Fed time. You going bye-bye. You going bye-bye. Them all fed, anything happen out there, it's all fed cases. They getting fed cases. That's not no that's not no local police jurisdiction. That ain't even state police jurisdiction. That ain't state police jurisdiction. It's federal cases. Whatever case they catch, they'll be in Pelican Bay. That's what's going on. It's big time serious, y'all. It's serious. And that's just part one. I gotta wait till something happens before I tell you the other side what's really, 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 really going on. What up the rabbit hole? What I suspect. Cause like I say, you know, you gotta get stuff from somebody that gets stuff from somebody that gets stuff from somebody that gets stuff from somebody. And when the feds come, they wanna know every step of the way. Okay? Yeah. So don't think all these high profile people trying to help this case, they neck is out. Okay? Okay, this could mean a lot of handcuffs with a lot of rich people in cuffs for other things. That's why I say sometimes a mistake here starts a chain reaction. They out there right now saying we got to think this, we got to rethink this. We can't. They can't go out there with all this stuff like that. That's gonna come back. That's what they thinking. But they was hustling. They was hustling. You really think they just had that party and nobody made no money? Somebody making money. Boy, they not having nothing for free, boy. They get money out there. Trust me. I've been in the scene. You know, you at the scene, you there with all the young people, right? Everybody regular except dude. Dude not regular. You know what I'm saying? He the man. You understand? Everybody out there ain't regular. Some of them dudes is the man that you got to go holler at to get your party favors. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, everybody ain't the same out there. You got the customers and you got the plug. The plug been working for a few days to get out there and get his money. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell him. So I can't say the rest, but you can fill in the blanks. All you got to go do is go do a little looking and dooking, and you're going to see certain things. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see, you're going to see, it's one picture out there. If you see it, you're going to go, oh, bingo. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? There's one picture out there. If you see that picture, you're going to go, whoa. Oh, I wonder if they scrubbed that off the internet. I think I got it somewhere though. Too late. You see that picture, you're gonna go, oh boy. Ain't nobody gonna have to tell you nothing. So it's a lot at stake. All they little fun and all they little boats. Yeah, they supposed to be out there Labor Day. They be out there Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July. 3 days I read. I think that was the three. That's the big pay, much big money days. Bro was out there, trying to live his best life. You know what I'm saying? He don't know no better. He a baby, he young. You know what I'm saying? He out there, Jolly G. Whittaker, with them and stuff. Yeah, guys, Jolly G. Whittakers, out there with them, trying to get in where he fit in. Rest in peace to him. He got to get in where he fit in. And boom. Sometimes you get that sloppy, you know what I mean? Trying to have fun, young, trying to have fun. You be in big, you be in big danger. Sophomore, junior, and senior. Yeah, you be in big danger. You bigger, but you still stupid. You know what I'm saying? You don't start getting unstupefied till you get like 19 before you start getting some sense. But you about as reckless as you could possibly be, sophomore, junior, and senior. You older, you wilder, but you dumb as hell. You don't even. And then the thing is, when you young, you know you dumb, so you be moving like you dumb. But when you get sophomore, junior, senior, you think you know stuff. And you dumb as hell. So that's when you the most dangerous. When you dumb, you don't even know it. You think you smart. You don't even know you dumb. When you 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, you don't know you dumb till you get 21. You're like, damn, I think I was dumb. I really do. I think I was dumb when I look back. You look back at it, you be like, I can't believe I lived. When you think about it, you like, I cannot believe I survived. When you look back, you be like, I can't believe I survived. I went over there to them people's house. I didn't know nobody in there. They could have did anything to me. What the hell? You don't have to know you dumb. You got to look back and know you dumb. You don't know you dumb. That's what make you dumb. Like I said, when you little, you know you're a little dumb because you still learning stuff. So when you little, you got the comprehension that, I don't know everything yet. You're in sixth grade, you know the seventh graders, eighth graders, no more. But when you get like sophomore, junior, senior, you don't even think like that no more. You don't even, you know what I'm saying? You got your license now. You grown up now. You know what you doing. See, when you little, you know you don't know what you're doing. You can't drive. That right there, that humbles you right there. You ain't old enough to drive. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know. You know what I'm saying? You dumb. Because you know you can't drive. And you in little kids school. You ever notice when you go to freshman, you ain't as sure about yourself to your sophomore, juniors? You ever notice the difference in your attitude? Yeah, you be standing on something when you're a sophomore, junior, and senior, but you still dumb, but you don't know it. That's why I'm trying to tell Paul. You're a sophomore, junior, and senior, you dumb and don't know it. The- you know you dumb when you look back. You used to be dumb. So it's when you get 21, 22, you look back, you're like, yeah, that was stupid. Dumb is something you see in the rearview mirror, Paul. So the question is, how do you know that you was dumb? Is the question. That's the proper question, Paul. How do you know you were dumb? Because when you get smart and you compare what you know now compared to what you didn't know, you know, damn. That's how you know. When you learn more, then you think about when you didn't know what you learned, you had to be dumb because it's important information and you just learned it. Sometimes you find out you dumb when you in jail for something stupid. Sometimes the police show you. Yeah, and more bolos than that. They all be around the island. Bunch of them, whole bunch of them. And adults pull up, but the adults pull up on their own boats. So I'm out there on my boat, but my daddy and mama might pull up on their boat, stay for a little while, and go and go somewhere. But the ones mostly that's stable is the young ones. What they don't tell you is that age is freshmen on up to juniors in college, seniors in college. That's what they don't tell you. There'd be a lot of, you know what I'm saying? You see, the lady asked him, any adults on the boat? He said, no. She asked him again, sir, is adults on the boat? He said, no, everybody 19. She's like, sir, that's adults, basically. What you saying? Over 18, fool. You know what I mean? So he was lying right there. Because somebody on the boat was 21. What you mean ain't no adults on the boat? What you mean? Right there, that's why I know it's an OD. Because if it's violence happened, they ain't saying all that. Mm-mm. They sound in their voice. That's an accident sound. That ain't no violence sound. If, personally, to me, being outside a lot, if it was violent, they wouldn't have called nobody. they wouldn't pick up that phone and call if it was violence. He on that phone calling, thinking dude gonna get up. Cause on the phone is when they began to realize he wasn't gonna get up. When he made the call, he probably figured dude was gonna get up. Go back and listen. When he made the call, he thought dude was gonna get up. They didn't come to the conclusion that dude wasn't gonna get up. Watch. They didn't know he wasn't gonna get up. That's right there on the thing. They found out he wasn't gonna get up on the phone. Watch. They found out he wasn't gonna get up while they was on the phone. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me play the one that got the words.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
So that's the thing. He said you unalived him. They say he gone. So that still leaves open the possibility that somebody did something to him. That possibility is still there, but it don't sound like it though. It sounds like they mad somebody gave them something. It just don't sound that same sound. It don't sound like from violence to me. It sounds like panicking from something else. But I could be wrong. It could have been. It's always, but to me, it don't sound like it. Oh, it's you again. Damn, man. Your life messed up. You don't got nothing else to do, huh? You messed up. Hopefully you get your life together. What a life should be trolling on the That's crazy. Wasting your time trying to irritate people on the internet that ain't paying you. You people crazy. Girl, it's probably a dude or some weirdo. Gotta get their life together. How, who decide? Who, when you say they, who is they? Who is they? I don't know who they is. I don't know. I don't know who they is. I don't. I don't, I think the media, whichever one the people pick up the most, then the media pick up the most in most cases. But the media have shown things that never caught on. The media have showed deaths that never went viral on all the time. The media have showed the media have showed deaths that never went viral on social media all the time. It's just you probably ain't paid attention to those ones. But the media can't make it go viral. Only the people can make it go viral. Only the people can make it go viral. Some gonna go viral, some ain't. It could have been. He could have been. Uh, he could have been doing to put him to sleep and squares him too hard. Some people say mad because he was with the girl. That's a possibility. Definitely a possibility. Everything is on the table until there's some final. But then sometime when it's final, the final ain't the truth. So, but based on that, yeah, and I got other information. The reason I got a conclusion, I can't say that part. They could have been that for sure. Anything is possible. You know, one thing we on social media, and we give our theories and ideas. We never just say absolutely, because anything, any information can come out. It's not a contest of trying to be right. It's just a matter of trying to figure it out. But it could have been easily somebody said, I got this, try it out. Ah, boom. Just like that. Two. And you would get the same, everybody would say the same thing they said on now. Straight up. If you gave somebody a substance and say, here, try this, and they tried it and they fell out like that, it would sound exactly like that. It sound more like a OD than violence, but it could be though. It just don't sound like a violent situation. Could be, but the level it seems a level down. If it's a violent situation, it's gonna be a. It seems like it's gonna be higher up than that. I could be wrong. It seemed like they would make a conclusion quicker too. This looked like they trying to figure out if he really gone or not. Get him up. Is he gonna get up? Get up. Get it up. I don't see you hollering. I don't see you hollering if it's violence. That sounds like OD talk. I don't know. But I got other reasons that I can't say. But that's one little part I put out. You all can look at that and try to see what conclusions you come to. I can't show the other part probably unless it's an arrest. If it's not an arrest, I can't show it. I suspect people have shown the picture I'm talking about, which is why some people have been threatened with lawsuits. Let that sink in. Because definitely, I got a picture of my show. I definitely would get sued for sure. But I believe it ties in there. Anyway, thanks for your participation. Don't get too emotional over this. You know what I'm saying? Stay positive. Make sure you support the channel. Make sure you like, share, comment, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Victory.